Yeah, it was a great time to be a Gopher. A huge win, the first one over Nebraska since 1960, ending a 16-game streak. The question now becomes, was it impressive enough to make the top 5 of Howard and Glen's power rankings presented by ArcelorMittal? Who's going first this week, fellas?
I'm going first. Yeah, I'll go first.
You should go first.
Take it away.
That was a good question because I wanted a 5A. I really did. I
wanted a 5A.
And I wanted to put Minnesota in there so bad, but I just couldn't do it because I had to put Iowa. Only based on Iowa dominated the Gophers when they played. I think Iowa's a much improved defense, and as you mentioned before, they have 3 losses, but the 3 really good teams.
Yeah, I like Iowa in this spot as well. I think they're starting to make some moves. I really like what this team is doing on both sides of the football.
And my next team.
Really?
My next team, and you're not going to agree with me, I know it, but I'm going to go with the Michigan Wolverines. Maybe you are going to agree with me. I don't know. But, they had the 4 overtime loss to Penn State, which was, I think, not devastating, but really set them back a little bit. Against Indiana, I don't know what happened to their offense. They still have a turnover problem. I don't know what the identity of their offense is, but I've got them number 4.
I think it's still, the jury's still out. I don't think we really still know exactly what Michigan is all about, but I think they're so talented, offensively. You look at Devin Gardner, and he can make the big plays. He can make all the throws. You look at what Gallon was doing. You look at all of a sudden what Funches is doing now in this offense, and Fitz the same thing. I think you have to put him in the 4th spot right now. We'll find out if they're able to stay in that position, obviously, this week.
Who's at 3?
Number 3, Michigan State Spartans. And I could have put them higher, but I didn't. Defense, only 8 first downs against Illinois. Come on. I mean, that's crazy type defense. But the inconsistency of their offense, I still have some reservations.
Can you believe that?
I can not. No.
You cannot believe that?
No.
Good.
That's too low.
Number 3 for me is the Badgers. I think you look at their last performance, you look at, to me, what they're able to do defensively. Hopefully they'll get back a healthy Borland coming off a little injury that he had that he wasn't able to complete that last game he was in. I really like this team. You look all around. Offensively, they're starting to make plays from the wide receiver position as well as the quarterback spot. But defensively, this is a team, to me, that really has a chance to be special.
They are special defensively. But number 2, I'm going with the Wisconsin Badgers. Because to be really good in the Big Ten Conference, you have to be able to run the football, which they do, play good defense, which they do, and I really think Joel Stabby is coming on. That's why I've got him number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
He's making plays, so I think, that's a legitimate spot to have him at number 2. But for me, at number 2, you want to know? Sparty in the defense. Ultimately, and you talked about the inconsistency that they've had there. To me, it's really about them being in the number 2 spot because I think they're starting to find their way. And to me, as I've said all season long, it's ultimately about what this team does on the defensive side of the football, which really separates them and takes them a step above the rest.
I think I know who's number 1.
Number 1, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Homer.
That's where they were last week.
You went to school there.
Homer. Ohio State Buckeye, they got talent. Every place you look, they're getting better defensively. They've got momentum. Number 1.
I can't wait to watch Noah Spence play again because you're starting to see him really develop into what I think can be an elite pass rusher in this game, particularly when in passing down. So when he becomes that every down player, and I think he's getting there along with the rest of the defensive line, this defense is really going to start to take that next step. But you talk about offensively, it's not many teams that are really going to be able to slow them down. Right. So when the defense plays well, you can forget it. It's going to be a tough team to beat.